This is the Outdoor Journey Show, where life takes you outdoors. The Outdoor Journey Show with Matt Gaddis and Ty Morgan, brought to you by Journey Hunts and the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation.
Welcome to the Outdoor Journey Show. It is Matt Gaddis, Ty Morgan here with you, and special show today talking about, when you're planning a hunt, how to choose the right and the best outfitter.
Yeah, tough deal, Ty, because people are spending a lot of money, you know what I mean? When you go with an outfitter, there's funds involved, there's time involved, and hunting's just like any other industry. There's great hunts out there, and there's some hunts that just really aren't so great,
right.
And our listeners have experienced both. And if you survey the outfitter businesses in America and really around the world like I do, you're going to find that it's just like any other business. There's the good, there's the bad, and there's the ugly.
What do you find, being a part of that world, that are some keys that you would say to look for?
Well, there's a lot of keys, really, and there's a lot of components that you have to look for. But really, the problem comes to this. Guys find out a species that they want to hunt, and they plan for 2, 3, 4 years because of saving, vacation time, all those factors. And so they're doing all that work. They start saving. They do a little bit of surface research because they don't have a lot of time. They either get on the internet, they look at a magazine. And so this hunter who wanted a lifetime, has worked a lifetime rather, for this special trip, and it's his favorite animal. He does minimal research, and ultimately he risks everything he saved, time, money, effort, on some random outfitter that he has no connection to. And sometimes it works out, but sometimes it doesn't work out.
So you're saying that, above all that saving, that you need to pull some time to really adequately do a good search.
Yeah.
That's probably one of the key things.
It's the real issue. And the issue is that people are short on time, and honestly, they don't know how to really research an outfitter, because you can see an ad and think that that's a great outfitter because they have an ad in a great reputable magazine or in a reputable website, and you think, oh, that's it. But here's the bottom line: if you have money, you can buy ads.
Right.
That doesn't make you a great outfitter.
That
doesn't make you a great anything. They just have money to pay for an ad. Or you look at a reference list, and we'll talk about that, I'm sure, in our second part of the show today. And you look at a reference list, and maybe you even call 1 or 2 people on it. But what you don't know is you just called Bobby Joe's cousins, or somebody's uncle, or somebody's, one successful hunter, and you don't know that. And it's really important because that can be skewed also. So when you have this time that is limited and you can't do the research properly because of that limited time, it really becomes important that you don't have a hunt that turns into really a huntmare, a nightmare of a hunt. Well, it's true. It's absolutely true. And I've had a situation like that. I go back a few years ago. I was going to Africa for my very first time. And I went with a safari. That's an excellent safari. In fact, it's the safari that I hunt with 2 or 3 times a year, every year now. The safari wasn't the issue. I was going through a hunting consultant, and this hunting consultant really hadn't done a great job of presenting me and my group of 8 with all the facts, with all the information. And so, long story short, after the hunt was over, I found out 3 months later that I was going to have to pay $1,900 more than anything he had told me about.
Oh,
and
all that planning, you weren't prepared for that.
No, because you plan based on the numbers that you're given. And all of a sudden, here's numbers I wasn't given. And it wasn't just me. It happened with all 8 people that were on this trip with me. And so what that led me to was to start Journey Hunts, which is my own booking agency. And it led me to it because I had been burnt. And I know there's a lot of you who are listening who have been burnt on hunts. And we do really all the research for you now. We do all the homework, all the references, and we do everything possible to remove as many of the potential problems that we can. It's our job. We look at it as it's our job to do to find the best of the best in outfitters, and for every species that's out there on the globe, because we know you don't have time.
Well, if you look at it from a different angle, too, I mean, it's no different than being somebody, I'm from Montana and Vegas. And so people come to me and they say, hey, what are some fun things to do in Vegas? And I can easily guide them and then tell them where to stay away from. Yep. A true, honest person, and finding a company that will do that for you is key, I think, when it comes to these hunts, especially if you are doing something, that lifetime hunt that you've saved forever. You want somebody that's going to share that information information, the do's and definitely the don'ts.
Yeah, and our rule of thumb is a one touch. We call it our one touch rule, really. We want to be one touch away from somebody who has actually been with that outfitter. So either myself, one of my hunting consultants, or somebody we personally know has been with that outfitter. And that means that we have a direct contact to somebody who's been there, who's experienced it, and who has seen what this outfitter has to offer. You know, now sometimes when you're dealing with a new outfitter in a new region, we don't always have that, but that's what we strive after. And if we don't have that, one of us usually are the ones who end up going on that hunt before we put it out there and before we advertise it. And here's the great thing about this is it costs our hunters nothing extra. They pay nothing for our service. Because our service is dealing with the outfitter, it's not dealing with the client. The client doesn't pay extra. And in fact, most of the times, because we're bringing multiple clients to the same outfitter, our clients end up getting a better price. It actually costs them less most of the time, not more, because they pay us nothing for this service. If we're going to make money out of this business, we make it on a commission from the outfitter that does not affect the pricing, nor does not affect our hunters that come through us.
That's a big encouragement is to find outfits like yours that can do that wherever you may be.
Yep. So choosing an outfitter is key. And if you need help doing that, you can go to JourneyHunts.com and find that service that we offer for you. You know, we have an email bag question of the week that comes from Skip in California. And he asked, how can I find a way to hunt all different animals that I want to hunt and set up a plan to do so? You know, it's a great question.
Sure.
We have clients call all the time and they'll say, hey, here's our list of my list of the top 5, 7, 10 animals that I want to hunt over the next 10 years.
Right.
And we actually help them formulate a plan, whether it's here in the U.S. and they have to apply for points and apply for bonus points in order to get in a position to hunt that animal in 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, or if it's overseas. We put a plan together, and at Journey Hunts, we do that work for you and alongside of you and help you to do that.
Everything from saving, what you're going to need financially, the whole 9 yards, and the rule book. So you guys will do a lot of work to really make dreams come true.
Yeah, in essence, we become your expert branch or your expert to do the work for you. And I've even had some clients that will actually put money, it will send me money to Journey Hunts, and we'll put it in our account and hold it for them because they're undisciplined in that area. Seriously.
Too many neat gadgets coming out these days.
Absolutely.
You know? Well, Skip, we've got a knife that we're going to be sending to you, compliments of the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation. Thank you for your question. It's even intrigued me to now create my own list because, it's kind of a deterrent if you don't know where you can hunt. Now, my gift of hunting has been Montana and Colorado.
Yep.
I know the rules of the road for each state, but that's it. If I wanted to go hunt in Oregon or if I wanted to hunt in Illinois, I don't know anything about it. So it never crosses your radar. It now opens a whole new doorway to possibilities out there.
Absolutely. And that's the thing is that our hunting consultants are located all around the United States. They're not just here on the western slope. And so we've got experts in every area, and they also have different interests around the globe. So we have some that are experts in Africa, some that are experts in New Zealand, in Argentina, maybe. Right. All around the globe, Russia, Bulgaria, Romania, all these different areas. And so they become, what their interest is what they become an expert in. And so we've got all that expertise out there doing the work for you. And here's another key, though. Here's what it doesn't mean. Just because we've recommended an outfitter and have done our homework, that doesn't mean that you're definitely going to kill an animal. And I've got to tell people that because so much of our industry today has pushed the concept of there is no success without a harvest.
Right.
And that's not always true. These are not guaranteed hunts. There are some guaranteed hunts that we have.
Right.
And they'll tell you it's guaranteed. In fact, one of our situations in Africa, if you're hunting a specific species and you don't see that species or you don't have a shot opportunity, you don't pay for that species. That's guaranteed.
Oh, I see.
But most are not. And here's the thing. We control everything we can control, but we can't control the weather. We can't control the animals. We can't control your shooting ability either.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So we take out everything that we can, and we do our best to do that. But it simply means that there are some elements that come into play that are outside of our control. But that still doesn't mean that it's not a great hunt, or it wasn't a great opportunity, or it's not a great outfit.
I like that.
No doubt about it.
So when we come back, we're going to be talking with somebody personally, Doug Benefield, and we'll learn more about an outfitting out called Illinois Connection.
Yes.
And what it takes to be a great outfitter.
This is the Outdoor Journey Show, where life takes you outdoors.